and by giving you examples of how to use problem-solving pedagogy in decision-making with application of economics. And in your textbook, by the way, your textbook is this one. Is this one. You should have a copy of this book, Manager Economics, and this is available at C&A Publishing, and these are the authors, you see. And it is located at J.R. Borja Pabayo Street corner. Pabayo, J.R. Borja corner, no? Street. You can find it here. You need to secure a book because all our exams, all our activities are found in this book. So at the end of each chapter, there are activities that we should do. There are also multiple choice exams or quizzes that you should finish. And you have to answer that on the given or allotted schedule, allotted time. So you should have a copy of this. Very important. Okay, now in page 13 in chapter 1, there is a problem there that we are going to solve. Page 13. Right? That we are going to solve using problem-solving pedagogy. So this is the problem. Okay, you find the problem here. Okay, you can see it, the problem. If you have the book, you can try it your own. The problem says that the owner of a small manufacturing firm hired a vice president to run the company with the expectation that he will buy the company after 5 years. Okay. The compensation of the new vice president is flat salary, meaning the vice president earns 50,000 irrespective of profit, whether there is profit or not. The company, the vice president will get a flat income of 50,000. However, there is an addition of 75% of the first 150,000 profit. And then, any amount exceeding 150,000 profit, the vice president earns 10% of the profit exceeding 150,000. The purchase price of the company is set at 4.5 times earnings profit computed as an average profitability over the next 5 years. So the first thing we do is, what's the problem? In order to solve it, first ourselves ask, what's the problem? So we have to identify. Now anyway, the problem is given. Plot the annual compensation of the vice president as a function of annual profit. And then second, assume that the company will be worth 10 million at the end of 5 years. Plot the profit of buying the company as a function of annual profit. So, this is one good example. So, what we are going to do now is to use simple math. No? We know that the compensation is 50,000 flat. And so, this is regardless of income, the vice president earns 50,000. So, this will be our intercept. Right? Plus, 75% of the first 150,000. So again, this is an intercept. This multiplying by 150,000, add that to 50,000, you will get 162,000. That is 162,500 plus, this is our variable, 10%. So this is our equation now. Now, if we use this equation to plot our points, we need to assume values. So these are assumed values. So at zero profit, the vice president earns 50,000 using this equation. At 20,000 profit, 75% of that plus 50,000, you will get 7,500. 100,000 profit multiplied by 75%, okay, plus 87,500, you will get 181,000. So this is what the vice president earns. But there is what we call a compensation cap. There is what we call compensation cap. If your father is working in a corporation or maybe a stockholder, or maybe your father is a member of the board, the moment they hire the chief executive officer, okay, take note of this word, compensation cap. The salary of the executive president actually would base on profitability. If the firm is not profitable, the vice president or any chief executive president actually would earn less. That is the usual agreement in a company or a corporate, in a corporate world. So they call it compensation cap. However, often the time is, but if the profit increases in the long run, you will notice that the vice president will no longer be earning higher. The vice president will be earning, there will be an increase in earning, however, the rate of increase is getting smaller. So this is not a good thing, because if in the long run, the vice president earns less and less, although the business is profitable, that will jeopardize the satisfaction of the vice president. As a result, the vice president would look for another company. So that is not a good practice. Okay? Compensation cap is usually applied only for newer companies that is not yet well established. So this is the usual problem in management, in managerial economy. Another problem here is what if the vice president, because the vice president knew that in the long run the business gets profitable, the less the vice president will be receiving salary. And the usual is the vice president or the president will take over the company by buying it out. Yan palito ng kumpanya kay bawal naman siya dagat sa negosyo. So, being a chief executive officer, usually, you also become an owner because of stocks ownership. Okay? So what if, for example, the vice president, in this case, the vice president, let's say, would buy out the company, the condition is that the purchase price of the company would be 4.5 times of earnings, no? 4.5 of the earnings, this is profit, no? Profit earnings. And here we assume that at the end of 5 years, the value of the company is 10 million, right? It's 10 million. So what is the purchase price of the company? Again, we will use simple mathematics to solve this problem. Now, all you have to do is we minus from 10 million the earning or profitability, and that is the buying price of the vice president. So 10 million minus 4.5 times of the earnings, or 4.5 of profits. So again, these are assumed values. We assume these values so that we can plot this using graph. At 125,000 profit, okay? So you will have 4.5 multiply this by how much? 125,000. And then deduct that from 10 million, we will get 9,437,500. This is the buying price of the vice president. In case the vice president takes over the company, he will buy that at at 9 million. Take note that the value of the corporation is 10 million. If the company is sold to the vice president, it's only worth 9 million because of what? Because of the 4.5 profitability. In other words, the value of the company is also due to the profitability of management, no, by the vice president. So at 250,000 profit, multiply that by 4.5, deduct this value from 10 million, you will get an 8 million value. Notice that the more the firm becomes profitable, the buying price of the vice president gets smaller and smaller. Okay? The bigger is the profit, the smaller will be the buying price of the vice president. So this is opposite to this. But the compensation cap. The bigger the profit, in the end, the firm gets less and less amount. But here, if above 150,000, the vice president may have an option of taking over the company by buying out. Okay? So you will notice here the rate of increase in the compensation of the vice president gets smaller and smaller. However, that is not the only option of the vice president. The vice president will transform all its income into stocks. And being a stockholder, he will be able to participate in ownership. And in this case, in the long run, he might have the option of buying the company. So that's a good example of using problem-solving pedagogy in decision-making using economics. Okay, so that's it. Now, another way of solving problem-solving is this one. We call this the problem of sustainability. Okay, so this is a different problem, but this is also part of managerial problem. Okay, we call this most often economic and environmental sustainability problem. Sustainability. We do not only make our company profitable, but we also make our company sustainable for at least few years or many years of generation. And one way of making our company sustainable is to make sure that the resources that it utilizes is always available. And now companies are into the what we call recycling business. For example, Coca-Cola Philippines or Coca-Cola Incorporated, Pepsi-Cola are actually putting up their own recycling company because they know that their main product, which is beverage, requires PET plastics and glass and aluminum to sustain its production. But you cannot sustain your production without a constant supply of glass, aluminum, and PET bottle or PET plastics raw material. So here comes now the idea of recycling. Okay? In other words, many companies today are into what we call circular. We call it circular economy. Right? Okay. But the problem here, we identify the problem. What is the problem, by the way? You know, the problem is pollution, right? The problem is littering of plastic bottles. This is actually the largest pollutant materials, plastic, in the whole world. Bottles. Because they are treated by the people as valueless. Wala sila value ba, no? That's how people treat plastic. Wala value. So the solution to that is, why not give value sa plastic, sa glass, or aluminum for that matter. By the way, there are so many kinds of plastics. Like we have plastics that are for food containers, plastics for beverages, plastic for bags, plastic for many, like chairs, plastic for So these are the different kinds of plastics that are thrown away when they are no longer used. So that increases pollution. So here comes the problem. If you are a manufacturer, let's say you are a manufacturer or importer. Let's say you are an importer or exporter. Importer or exporter of beverage, let's say, of beer or any or soft drinks. And this is your consumers. Right? Consumers. Or this is our end users. So you will have, if this is a circular economy, the manufacturer provides to the retailer and wholesaler of beverages to the consumer. In return, the raw materials will go back to the manufacturer and recycle them. That is what the Coca-Cola and Pepsi-Cola is doing. But the problem is, we don't have a system. We don't have a system that put value of liter plastics. So one way is to put up a system that would give people an amount of money in such a way that they would feel responsible in keeping the liter bottle. So we need to establish what we call deposit return system. This is actually being employed in most countries in Europe. Only in the Philippines that we cannot find this system. In Europe, almost all countries, including in China, na sila DRS. No? Like for example, kanang mga plastic bottle, nila ibutang sa machine pa. Kahulog ng machine, mo sort out na din ang machine, kung sa'y plastic, kung sa'y glass, kung sa'y aluminum, di mo gawas ng resibo, the resibo na di palit po dahil niya, kung iyang silang gusto paliton. Para ba sa una ba, dapat ba nagkaroon ng practice? When you buy a beer, let's say, when you buy a Rimhouse, for example, if you don't have a bottle, di ba pangayuang kag-deposito sa tindahan? So, iulit gini mo itong deposito, aron ma-reclaim mo ang imong kwarta. In the same practice, ingana po unta itong gamiton sa mga plastics. Okay? Maghimot tag-system. So, I have a questionnaire for you. This is one activity that you should read about. This is actually implemented in Sweden, in Finland, in Germany. I do not know if this is applied sa lahat na po sa Amerika, siguro na sa United States. But in Europe, this is the common. So I will give you reading material on this, and then try to contemplate if this is applicable. Okay, di applicable ba na sa Pilipinas? So at the end of this reading material here, I have set of questions there to determine your level of awareness and acceptability of the system. If this is acceptable from your point of view, because you are Lycean, you are students from Liceo, you have a program of lifesaver, also lifesaver by saving the river. No? Saving the river, you can save life. And one way of doing that is actually eliminate pollution. Now, even if Coca-Cola and Pepsi-Cola has already a recycling plant, but if we don't have a system like DRS, magpabilin niya kung ang pollution. So, this is one way of, this is actually a problem of using pedagogy, an approach to which you can identify the problem, apply economics, and then we will solve the problem. Okay guys, so now you read chapter 1. I have already downloaded in your course outline. You read chapter 1, and then after reading it, answer the quizzes and answer the activity that are found in the end. So I have already uploaded that in the internet. And although nakadrop pa ng quiz kayo, di pa ninyo makita ang quiz dito sa okay. Dapat magdungan mamutay ka na. Dito na siya sa August 20 at 10 o'clock. So, probably kung katong dili makatake siguro ana, mag-take off sa iyo lugar, mag-take off sa, let's say, mag-take off Friday kay sa Badista lugar, no? So, mag-take sa ka-take off Saturday. So, pwede na to, pwede na ko i-upload by Friday evening. Okay? But that means nga, inyo na nabasa ang nabasa na ninyo ang chapter kayo. Na-post naman ako na sa internet. So, nabasa ninyo po, ready na mo answer it sa evening. The following morning, 10 o'clock, those who cannot take in Friday, mag-take mo sa by the end of 10 o'clock, okay, one naman na siya, 1 hour and a half naman siguro, o 1 hour and a half, dili na mo ka-take kay mo paano naman nila, block naman na ang block na ang computer. So make sure na inyong mga activity. Okay guys, that's all, and good afternoon. Okay. Wala. Recording na. Saan man ako nag-send na